everybody. Dave Soblik here, your host of the show. And with me today, I have Maureen Razcko, who is a licensed professional counselor with Resolve Therapy. Maureen, how are you?
Hi, great. Thanks for inviting me today and giving me an opportunity to help people.
Absolutely. I appreciate you being on here.
Tips.
Yeah. Well, maybe we just get started real quick. Let's get a little background of who you are and what your professional background is and what qualifies you to kind of have this conversation with me today.
Okay, so I'm a master's level counselor, a licensed professional counselor called an LPC. And I have been in private practice for about 2 years now with Resolve Therapy.
Awesome. Good. That is fantastic. So I imagine that this time of year now with COVID-19, everything that's going on, I know you're already busy, but are things picking up for you? Are you getting a lot more people kind of reaching out to you that maybe have some concerns, stress, activity that's going on there that you can help them with?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
I would say that my caseload has really increased since COVID, and people are presenting with a lot of anxiety, depression, trauma, loneliness, job loss.
Yeah.
The list goes on and on, but those are some of the common themes.
Yeah. Okay. So with that, so how are you guys handling that? How are you handling the increase number of people reaching out? What you just listed, are those like the main reasons people are reaching out, or what would you classify as a top new bit of activity that you're seeing now that maybe you didn't see 2, 3, 4 months ago?
I would say that the social isolation and loneliness is causing more depression. Also, just a lot of fear of the unknown and the constant change that's happening is creating a lot of anxiety for folks. And we take on as many clients we can at Resolve Therapy, but then have to refer folks on to other resources. I have a full caseload right now and a waiting list, so I have to help those folks find other people to work with.
Right. Okay. So let's give me an example here. I mean, there's somebody out there that might be watching that maybe they were let go through this process and they're not sure how they're gonna be able to keep, pay the next month's mortgage. And, their outlet has not been exercised or something like that. Like what are some things that you can offer somebody that just is really feeling anxious right now? Advice.
I would say for people experiencing anxiety, just really accepting those feelings, normalizing that, and not making it like pathologizing it, I would say. Just accepting that everyone who is going through this pandemic right now is experiencing trauma.
Sure.
And also loneliness and isolation. And there are a lot of different things you can do. I could really go through a list of like 50 things,
Okay.
but I would
3 to 5. I don't know.
Top 3 to 5. I would say just starting the day off right has been tremendously helpful. So, getting your 8 hours plus of sleep. And then when you wake up, just first thing, taking a shower, putting on some clean clothes and making your bed. Then you've already accomplished 3 things and started your day off right. Then if you can get a healthy breakfast, start hydrating, and then get some fresh air and exercise, then you're really on a good path.
Right. What might be an alternative? Let's say if someone maybe isn't able to go out and exercise right now, maybe they have a bum knee or whatever. What are some other things that they can get kind of similar benefits from exercise, but maybe it's not exercise itself? Or is there an alternative for them?
I would say meditation is extremely helpful. It helps with anxiety and is also something that you can do even if you have mobility issues or can't really get around or out of the house. But there's also some things folks can do, like even people who are, older could do chair yoga or chair aerobics. It doesn't necessarily have to be, going out and going running or
Right.
some of those like high endurance type activities
Right.
necessarily.
Okay.
But even just if somebody is able to, just going for a brisk walk and
Yeah.
maybe listening to your favorite music or talking on the phone with a friend or loved one, then you're getting like the fresh air, the exercise, and socializing all at the same time.
Right. Right. What about for some? I'm on social media quite a bit, and these days, I guess I think a lot of people are as well. And I like reading people's posts and seeing what they're going through. And I had a friend who had put on a post how she's been inside for almost 30 days, and she hasn't had that physical contact with anybody in 30 days, and is a big hugger and types. And I'm kind of the same way too. Like I like to give people hugs, and my kids have been on break with their mom, and and so they're coming back to me tomorrow, which I'm really excited. So I'll get a chance to hug them. But maybe for someone who doesn't have little ones coming home like I do tomorrow, how can somebody fulfill that feeling you get when you are able to give somebody a hug?
Yeah, that's a really good question. I've heard a lot lately about people having a good experience with weighted blankets. It kind of gives
Okay.
that hug feeling. Also, anyone who has pets, um,
Think about getting a dog, honestly.
pets
I
helps
love.
tremendously.
Yeah.
None of it's the same as human touch and
Right.
real human connection, but we're having to do what we can do right now. So using ways of talking to people over the phone or through FaceTime or Zoom or any way possible is helpful right now.
Yeah, I personally find value in like this, right? It's one thing to hear somebody's voice, but then when you can see the other person, see facial expressions, it's not as good as being in the same room, but it's pretty darn close. So I think it's, I get a lot of benefit from it.
Yeah, I hear that from a lot of people who used to not really like talking on the phone or
Yeah,
doing FaceTime or Zoom.
yeah,
They're loving it. They're trying it for the first time and they're like, I want to do this from now on. I
yeah.
should have been doing this with my family the whole time.
I know it's funny.
So,
It's like I should bring back like old school. I should just put like a cord on my phone and feel like that's back like it was when I was a kid, right? How we used to
exactly.
communicate,
Right.
kind of back to, coming full circle in some ways to build like actually physically you have to talk to somebody. You can't just text them. So to feel connected.
Exactly.
So
Yeah.
as a parent, I have another question for you because, I feel like just, it's, we have our own struggles as a parent going through, you know, everything that's going on. Right. And we want to be strong parenting figures for our children, but at the same time, like they are completely taken away from their social being, which was school, right? Or their social outlet rather. And so what are some tips that you could give us as parents to help keep our kids, help reduce their anxiety and keep them, keep them enough informed, maybe, but maybe protect them a little bit so they're not getting so anxious all the time.
Right. Um, and you nailed it. Kids are getting anxious. It's like they have little antennae and they're
Yeah,
picking up on all of the feelings and anxiety and fear that's happening around them. They absorb all of that.
they do.
And just really checking in with them and asking them, how is this all going for you? Because it's a lot for everybody, and
Absolutely.
normalizing what they're feeling, giving them a space, a safe place to let their feelings flow,
Hmm.
and just letting them know that whatever they're feeling is absolutely okay.
Good.
Playing with them is huge. It's more important now than ever because
Yeah.
that's the way kids communicate their feelings and make sense of the world around them is
Yeah.
through play.
Right.
And what you mentioned about the information coming at them through the
Yeah.
media, the less information, the better. Limiting social media, COVID conversations, not
Mhm.
having the news on all the time around them can help them out tremendously. And just providing, very basic information and giving them things that they can do, like they can wash their hands
Right.
and they can practice social distancing.
Good. So focusing more on, yeah, I like that actually. Focusing on what you can do rather than what you can't do as a result of COVID, because I think to me, in my mind, that's like forward moving, right? And that's what we all want to be doing is what's going to get us from the next day to the next day, because literally we are taking it one day at a time right now.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
If I have time to mention two
Yeah.
other things that really help with children
Absolutely.
is helping them build like a coping toolbox. They
Okay.
can even decorate their box. It can be any size. And then they can put inside of their box things that are comforting to them. Usually that entail using all of your senses. So
Okay.
things that you can see, hear, smell, taste,
Okay.
whether it's pictures from family vacation or lavender oil or hot cocoa or Starburst candy or
Yeah.
a favorite stuffed toy or a coloring book. And then while you're at it, make yourself a coping toolbox because we
Right.
need them too. Put a
Right.
journal in there,
Mm-hmm.
um, more
Up
adult
here.
type coping things.
Can I put my beer in?
Helping kids have their own space within the home.
Right.
So building a fort with blankets and pillows and all of their favorite soft, fluffy things where they can go and retreat and have their own space away from everybody can really help them out too.
I love it. Now, is there anything wrong with an adult making their own fort to escape from everything that's going on too? Is that
Absolutely not. I've seen some pretty amazing adult forts with
right?
like lights and
Yeah.
you can get really
Usually when
creative.
things get dangerous is when the adults get involved, right? Because we're really stacked here and we're
Right.
stacked up. So, I think that's what his dads do. I know. So
Yeah.
good. Well, any other parting tips before we let you go that you can give everybody?
I would just say, be empathetic and compassionate with yourself and with everyone around you. We're all going through something that we've never been through before.
Yeah.
And just being very forgiving and allowing ourselves to feel our feelings and to grieve because there's a lot of grief
Yeah.
happening, there's a lot of loss
Absolutely.
happening,
Yeah.
and all of it, whatever anyone is feeling, is absolutely okay. Also, we are learning new ways of coping for the first time. We're finding
Sure.
strength in ourselves that we've never found before.
Right.
And these are things that we can carry on into our future. So when we, you know, encounter challenges in the
Mhm.
future, we'll be better equipped.
Absolutely. Maureen, so if people have further questions after watching this, what would be a great way for them to learn more information? Is there any good resources that you could refer them to? Is there a way for them to reach out to you as well?
Yes, absolutely. I'm going to send you a list of resources that you can post for everyone.
Okay.
Um, Then also, if somebody wants to find me on Facebook, I'm under Maureen Elizabeth, and I can point you to a lot of the amazing resources that I've been coming across. Some volunteer websites,
Hmm.
because volunteering is one of the best things you can do for anxiety. It helps with the stress cortisol levels. To give back and help other people. It helps you to make meaning out of what's going on and give
Yeah.
back. And that's one of the most healing things you can do. I'm also going to list the psychology.com website, which
Okay.
is where you can go and find a therapist depending on what your insurance you have and your location and what your issues are. You can just, click those and it'll pull up a list of people that are available to help you.
Awesome. Mo, you're the best. Thank you so much for taking the time today to meet with me and talk with me on Zoom.
Absolutely. Thank you
Really,
for inviting me.
absolutely. I think we can easily have another episode, if you will, because you have so much great information to share. So, in the meantime, I just want to thank everybody for tuning in. I'll post some of those contact information at the end of this interview, and we'll leave it at that. So, thanks everybody for tuning in. Have a great day.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks, Mo.
Bye.
Hey, thanks for tuning in. I really hope you enjoyed the interview. If you want to watch or listen to some more great stories from amazing influencers in our community, please be sure to check out my Facebook and YouTube page listed below. Also, if you know of somebody that I should interview, or maybe it's even you, for an upcoming episode, go ahead and reach out to me at dave@sobolikrealestate.com. Thanks, and take care, everybody.